Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing Season 3. We're here with Race 9, Competitive Flat Race. Oh boy, you are here, even though you didn't finish watching the last race. Good to have you here. You said you're on the last lap in the Discord, if I remember correctly. So, you didn't miss like too much, I guess. But you know what the last laps can be like. They can be pretty dramatic. But good to have you here still. I don't know if you got set free. Well, I won't say anything in case you're wanting to watch that final part. And we'll go straight on to the standings. So currently Jimmy is leading with 168. Marnie is in second with 163. Superboss is in third, 1 point behind with 162. Then we have Azur, Pesky Bird, Iceman, Cheese, Boer, and Demon currently in ninth. Struggling, I know I say this near enough every race so far, but still struggling this season, and we'll see if they can turn it around this time. So let's get over to the track. So competitive flat race. This is by Burgerman 42. If I do ever miss out on saying who the map's created by, I do apologise. Sometimes my mind does blank things. I slip up on what I'm going to say. It just depends on what I remember. I have a list of things I try and make sure I remember to say going into it. But I am slightly forgetful sometimes. So, competitive flat race. Pretty straightforward track. As you can see, it is a very flat race, as with the name. Quick tour around in the office. See a lot of sharp turns, a lot of spinners. We have a little jump bridge, a little triangle obstacle section. Pesky just in time, good to have you. We have the domes that you gotta be careful not to get stuck on, and back round to the start finish. So not too long, and very flat and hopefully very competitive. So we get the racers in. Superboss starting in the first position. Pesky starting in the last position. Bit of a spoiler there for Boer. If you're on the last lap, I think you probably would have gathered how things are going to play out towards the end. But onwards with this race. See if things can turn around a bit for those who had a bit of a rougher last race. So let's get the countdown going. It will be 15 laps around this track as the lights count down, and they are green and they are away. So Jimmy's gonna take an early lead, Cheese and Azur just following. Everyone is going to stay quite close together early on in this race. I don't think there are too many opportunities to try and break away here. There's no shortcuts or any major setbacks unless you get stuck on anything. So we could see quite a close race here. But Azur is going to try and get an early breakaway. And currently at the back is Boer and Pesky Bird battling it out. Superboss goes for a lunge around the outside. Jimmy actually getting past. Azur's going to take a position right back. Superboss, Demon and Cheese battling it out. Some contact there. Jimmy's going to get past through the triangle section. We'll see who comes out in front. Jimmy comes out in front. Not so great for Azur. Going for an inside lunge, but a little bit too slow. Means Jimmy's going to be leading. Superboss going to try to squeeze up the inside. Makes it work. Demon's going to sneak around the outside. So, and Azur cutting up the insides. Jimmy has some trouble with a bit of a bounce. Jimmy getting stuck for a second. Just collisions going crazy here. But after all of that, Azur is going to be leading. Demon in second, Superboss third. The Demon getting held up in one of the spinners. Not so great there. It's going to get a little push from Marnie to get going. Guess see Jimmy come past Iceman, not quite quick enough. So Azur leading, Superboss in second, Cheese in third. We have Jimmy, Demon, Iceman, Marnie, Pesky Bird, and Boer. So Azur with a good line around the hairpin. Going to keep hold of that lead and actually breaking away from the pack a bit. Good evening, Iceman. Nice of you to join us. So you see Jimmy and Iceman side by side. Iceman actually going for a pass as Jimmy got a bit stuck on the wall. Jimmy's going to block Demon. Almost like a bit of a strategy going on there, trying to let Iceman break away a bit. Going to push each other through the triangle section, but hasn't worked out. Demon gets a great line through there. It's going to move all the way up into third. She's managing to get through in fourth. Then it's Marnie, Iceman, Jimmy, Boer, and Pesky Bird now in ninth. Superboss is now leading, going through the dome section. A few bumps, they're going to slow a couple of people down. Cheese and Marnie dropping a few positions. Boer's going to be on the tail of Cheese, and Pesky Bird losing a bit of time through that section. Demon trying to make an overtake on Azur, doesn't quite work, but Iceman is going to look for the outside, to the inside in the second corner, does make it past Demon. Jimmy looking for a way past as well, but currently being blocked. Azur under pressure from Iceman now as well. In fact, under pressure from Iceman, Demon, and Jimmy. Jimmy making it past Demon. So the two icebreakers now trying to chase down Azur and try and get that second spot. Meanwhile, with all this chaos, Superboss is just trying to extend that lead. Boer has the fastest lap, currently in 8th. Iceman with a bad bounce there. Demon and Cheese are going to get past. Jimmy with an aggressive lunge into that corner, trying to go after Azur, actually results in losing time more than anything. So a bit of a pile up into the corner. A few positions swapped around. Iceman moving up into third, Demon in fourth, Jimmy in fifth, Cheese in sixth. Marnie seventh, Boer eighth, and Pesky Bird ninth. And a battle going up at the front for the top two as and Superboss just trading positions. As they go through the dome section, Azur's going to squeeze Superboss out. But a rebound of the dome there means Azur's slowed down. Iceman's going to go for a lunge and just makes it work. Superboss is going to come out of that section in first, going on to lap 4. Iceman second, Azur in third. And a great use of the spinner there for Iceman's going to knock Azur back and allow Jimmy to come through in third. I mean, the Icebreaker is currently in second and third. Azur now in fourth, Cheese in fifth. Then the two Eternal Darkness racers, Demon and Marnie, 6th and 7th. Boer still holding the fastest lap in 8th, and Pesky Bird currently in 9th. Has some time to make up. So back up to the front. Iceman is chasing down Superboss. Jimmy has Cheese and Azur right behind them. Trying to hold them up, giving Iceman some space to work with. Give Iceman time to try and chase Superboss down. Jimmy's just going to keep causing trouble for Cheese and Azur. Actually causing Cheese to drop a position, just constantly holding them back with little bumps. Actually managing to make a breakaway and closing the gap on Iceman a bit. Iceman had an alright line through there. A push from Jimmy, the assist coming through there. Jimmy bumping Iceman line. Jimmy to go up to first. Iceman second. A massive hit there to send Superboss backwards. The plays are rough by the Icebreakers here. This is teamwork at its finest. playing very aggressive. Superboss dropping from first to fourth with that. Azure in third. Jimmy now trying to make a breakaway in first. Iceman in second. Cheese in fifth. Demon in sixth. Boer in seventh, right on the tail of Demon, but a rough bounce there. Marnie in eighth and Pesky Bird in ninth. But up towards the front, Superboss with a great line through there is going to move back up into second. So Iceman hunting them back down, wanting to reclaim that spot, squeezes through the gap, makes it work. Will move back up into second. So quite the fight going on today. Could we see Jimmy getting a race win? Don't count yourself out yet, Pesky Bird. We are 5 laps in a 15-lap race. Plenty can happen. It does look like Marnie and Pesky Bird do need to make up a bit of time. They're currently trailing behind the main pack. The top 3 have broken away a bit. And Jimmy really trying to make a gap away from Iceman and Superboss. Making their way through the triangles. Superboss actually gets through the cleanest. You can make quite a bit of time through that section. Same with the domes. This can cost you a lot of time or gain you a lot of time, all depending on the routes you take. Iceman with a great line through there is going for the lunge. Is going to get in front of Superboss. Jimmy is now in third. Superboss getting hit by Iceman, but Jimmy not quite finding the gap, meaning going on to lap 6, Iceman is leading. Superboss in second, Jimmy in third, and with the fastest lap. But it is close. It is very close up at the front. Gonna leave that battle for a second, see what's going on further back. Demon has made it past Azure, and Demon up into fourth. Azure with a rough bounce there. Cheese and Boer quite close together, battling for 6th and 7th. And then Marnie and Pesky Bird making their way through. So back up to the front. Jimmy has moved up to second, a collision there with Superboss to slow them down. It's an Icebreakers 1-2. Big hit by Iceman on the corner means Jimmy's going to move back up into first. Maybe it was a calculated move. Maybe Iceman wanted Jimmy to go back into the lead. Try and give Jimmy the best shot at getting a win here. And Iceman is back on defense from Superboss. But Demon coming around in fourth, Azure in fifth, and there's still a battle going on between Boer and Cheese. Bit of a stall there for Boer, not quite sure what happened. But Boer losing a bit of time there. Maybe having some mechanical issues. Superboss just shows your name, Superboss 43. That is what you submitted. I just don't know if that was fully intentional or whether you mistyped 42 to 43. I thought maybe it's intentional. Maybe you wanted 43 for your marble. The Iceman is now leading quite a bit of position trading going on around the top 3. We're back with Iceman leading, Superboss in second, and Jimmy in third. See, Demon and Azure still battling it out. Boer still trying to chase down Cheese, and Marnie's actually gained on them as well. But Pesky Bird still having some difficulties. Maybe saving all their energy for the second half of the race. We'll have to wait and see. It wasn't intentional, but definitely going to keep it for future seasons. Well, there we go. Superboss 43. So Iceman in the lead. A bit of a gap now between first, second and third. So sort of spreading out a bit. And then quite a gap back to fourth place. So it looks like Boer's actually dropped to 8th. It is now Demon 4th, Azure 5th, Cheese 6th, Manny 7th, Boer 8th. So still a lot of action going on. The top 3 have got quite a bit of a gap though. So kind of in their own battle up here. Each season you're going to put the number up by 1. See how high that goes. A lunge there by Superboss and a lunge there by Jimmy. Both unsuccessful. Iceman's going to keep hold of first. And a bit of a slowdown causing a jam there. Iceman running slow through there, holding up Superboss and Jimmy. Which could mean Demon can gain a bit of time. I was going to say we'll have Demon gaining, but there's still quite a gap. It's definitely going to cause some time loss for the top 3, that slowdown there. But Iceman holding strong here. Superboss also trying to defend Jimmy. Demon trying to get away from Cheese, who's got Azure right behind them. Then we have Marnie, followed by Boer. And then Pesky Bird. Bit of a struggle today for Pesky Bird. It's not their track. Superboss makes it past Iceman through the triangle section. And then going into the domes. So far the top 3 just following the same route through here. No one really gaining. It's just a bit of a waiting game. Finding the right time to take a position. Azure's moved up to 4th. Demon now battling with Marnie. Jimmy still holding a fastest lap. Boer went for a bit of a lunge on Cheese but hits one of the domes, so not quite working out there. And Pesky Bird is starting to close the gap here on lap 9 as we're going onto lap 9. So up at the front, Superboss leading. Followed by Iceman and Jimmy. Still not going to give up that first place that easy. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more fighting going on before the end. And we've got some action going on here for the battle for 4th. Demon currently still holding. A big bump there by Marnie means Azure's going to take that place right back. In 5th. Marnie in 6th. Cheese in 7th. Boer in 8th. And Pesky Bird in 9th. Not a bad line through there for Iceman. It's a bit of a slowdown while the triangles. Could have been slightly better. Superboss pulling away a bit now. That is a bad hit for Iceman. It's going to be a massive slowdown. Big time loss. Jimmy's going to go through into 2nd. Iceman does get moving again quite quickly, not too costly, with the gap being quite big to Demon, but the gap has gotten smaller, so the top 3 have got to be a bit wary that Azure and Demon are gaining. Marnie had a bit of a slowdown through the spinner, and Boer is chasing down Cheese. In fact, this might be a chance for an overtake. Boer has more speed, but Cheese has got the inside line. Just manages to cut Boer off there. And will keep hold of 7th for now. We'll see if Boer has another plan to get that position from Cheese. And now heading back around to the front runners. Jimmy's still trying to hunt Superboss down. Azure is now right on the tail of Iceman, Demon as well. So this could get interesting. We might start seeing someone else come into the top 3. Is Iceman losing momentum here? After the big slowdown on the domes, it's been looking a bit rough trying to keep that 3rd position, with Azure and Demon lurking just behind. A lunge there for Demon, unsuccessful. Doesn't quite make it past Azure. Looked like Jimmy had a bit of a collision there with the dome, slowing them down a bit. Iceman with a great line through here. Clearly must have heard what I said and is responding. Great line, great speed, making some time on Jimmy. Bit rough through the spinners. And Superboss still holding a strong lead. Azure and Demon really closing this gap on Iceman and Jimmy. And Marnie as well. Marnie is not far behind Demon. Boy has made it past Cheese. And Jimmy's still holding the fastest lap. Looking to grab an extra point in the standings. But it's not looking too good for Pesky Bird today, as I just saw in the chat. It's not looking great. I think it's a bad race day. But the race isn't over. The race isn't over yet. You never know, something could happen. Iceman is now right behind Jimmy. Bit of a rough bounce coming out of that corner. Not going to be great for Iceman. Demon's trying to look for a way past Azure. And Marnie just behind them. Jimmy closing the gap on Superboss now. Going on to lap 12. And we're starting to pull away from Cheese. Looking to keep hold of that 7th place. A good line through the domes for both of them. And Pessibird with a good line through there as well. Now, will Superboss be able to hold Jimmy off in these final few laps? There's a bit of a gap between Jimmy and Iceman now. Azure very close behind Iceman. Demon trying to chase down Azure as well. Marnie with a big hit on the wall. Going to lose more time, making the gap even bigger between Demon and Marnie. And the gap even smaller for Marnie to Boer. So Boer could be trying to hunt down an extra position here in the final few laps. Iceman with a big slowdown through the triangle section. Azure just going to tail Iceman through that section. Is now right behind them. And could be looking to try and take that 3rd position. See how they go through the domes. Tactical block by Iceman is going to slow Azure down, and in fact it's worked very well as Azure's got themselves stuck. I think they are moving ever so slightly. They are moving. They are going to roll free. They did manage to free themselves, but an aggressive move, as we've been seeing through the whole start of this race. The Icebreakers taking no prisoners today. Aggressive strategies all round for them. And once again, a very aggressive play by Iceman. Works perfectly and is very costly for Azure, setting them back to 6th place. And incredibly pushing Iceman up right behind Jimmy and Superboss now. And giving Jimmy a boost to try and make a lunge on Superboss, but it's not quite working yet. Demon is just behind Iceman. Iceman calling for an unintentional hit. Don't know, someone might have to run that back and make a decision. Go down to the public. Was it an intentional move or not? Cheese with a lunge around the outside on Marnie there. Marnie having a rough entry into that corner once again. Struggling a bit in these later laps. And Cheese chasing down Azur. So Azur, Cheese, Marnie and Boer all quite close together now. In fact, Pesky Bird's not that far behind them as well going into the final few laps. In fact, the last couple of laps. So this could be quite an exciting end here. Superboss with quite a strong lead now. Iceman and Jimmy battling it out. And Demon just behind. Hoping to gain on them while they have a battle going on. But this could all be strategic by the two icebreakers. As Iceman goes a bit slow through there, Jimmy is going to move up to second once again. Iceman at risk from Demon. Cheese is going to move up past Azur. Azur trying to make the lunge to block, but doesn't work. Cheese moving up to fifth. Azur dropping to sixth. Boer's in seventh, but Marnie is right behind them. And Pesky Bird also behind the two of them. Marnie's gone for an overtake and has made it work, getting past Boer. Pesky Bird is now right behind Boer, trying to look for a pass on the inside, but does not have the speed. Tucks in behind Boer. A little collision there. See in the distance, Superboss still breaking away in the lead. That's Jimmy, Iceman, and Demon. Followed by Cheese, Azur, Marnie, Boer, and Pesky Bird. So apart from Superboss with a breakaway, everyone else is kind of closing the gap on each other. Jimmy going a bit slow through the triangle section. Can Demon get a good run through here? This could be big if they can. Fortunately, a little bit too slow. Jimmy getting held up quite a lot there. Iceman's going to go up to second. Jimmy's just going to block Demon out. But by the smallest amount, Cheese with a bad bounce there. Azur's going to come through and squeeze them out. Bit of a battle in the chat over who's been doing the worst. And Demon in third now. Jimmy's still on the fastest lap in fourth. As we go into our final lap, we could see the highest finish for Demon in the season. Right here. If we're going to talk about bad seasons, I think Demon probably wins on that front. But Boer probably follows quite close. So Superboss is with quite a big lead on this final lap. No stranger to these strong leads, Superboss. Been quite a good season. Iceman in second. In fact, Marnie actually having quite a poor race after a consistent season so far. Big collision off the wall there for Boer is going to be costly. But Superboss with a massive lead right now. Iceman with a big breakaway in second as well. Jimmy is just tailing Demon, hoping to try and get back into the top three, and a great lunge there into the triangle section. Will move up into third again. Demon's going to take the inside line on the exit. Then we've got Azur and Cheese just behind. As we are going around the final corners, we see Superboss here just breezing through to the win. And Superboss takes the win on race 9. So congratulations to Superboss. Claps in the chat. Iceman's going to come through and take second. Jimmy just holding off Demon all the way down to the line. Very close between them two. Jimmy's going to take third and the fastest lap. Demon's going to be fourth. Azur in fifth. Cheese is going to come through sixth. We're managing to stay in front of Marnie. He's going to take seventh. Marnie eighth. And Pesky Bird with An unfortunate race here today is going to come through in 9th. So a rough race for Pesky Bird today. But over to the winner, Super Boss. Congratulations again on the win. So we have our winners cam. Second win, just seeing what was put in the chat. A double podium for the Icebreakers. Yes. Iceman and Jimmy putting up a very good race as a team. A lot of interesting tactics going on, playing super aggressive, and it paying off in the end. There's just one person they couldn't quite beat, and that was Superboss. But I am now going to go over and put the results into the leaderboard, and I'll be back in just a minute with the updated standings. Alright, the results have been entered, so let's head over to the leaderboard. So we've had a bit of a shift up in the top 3 after this result. Superboss with a win is now up in the number 1 spot with 192 points. 1 point ahead of Jimmy, who is in second with 191. Third is now Azur with 177, and Marnie has dropped out of the top 3 for I think the first time this season, and is now in fourth with 176 points, just 1 point out of the top 3. Then we have Iceman in 5th with 174, Pesky Bird in 6th with 164, Cheese in 7th with 152, we're in 8th with 149, and Demon with their best win of the season, still in 9th with 137 points, but a big point gain for Demon there. And maybe they're going to start putting things back. We'll have to wait and see what the next races bring. So the next race is going to be City Speeders, which, as I mentioned in the previous one, is the new and improved flat speeders. So there's quite a few changes. I have now done testing on it, done a few runs. My game did crash the first time I tried playing it, and I'm hoping that was just a one-off. My computer's acting kind of strange. Sometimes it does. It was freezing every now and then during this. I don't know if you see that on the stream, but every now and then it would. Just for like half a second. But yeah, hopefully it will run smooth when it comes to tomorrow's race. But yeah, that is what's up next. City Speeders. Quite a few new parts to it to look forward to. But there we go. Once again, a good race by Superboss. Strong win there. Congratulations to them. Great fight by the 2 Icebreakers. And we'll see what happens tomorrow at City Speeders. No problem, bro. No problem at all. Thank you everyone for being here and watching once again. Thank you, Iceman. Have a good night yourself, and to everyone else as well, have a good night or day, whatever the time is where you are. But that is going to do it for this stream. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.